Hello everyone, I hope I am audible. I hope you all are doing well. Let me just I want one verification from you all that am I audible or not so that we can start our session. I'll wait for few more minutes so that everyone whosoever wants to join they will join and then maybe we can start. The agenda of today's session, I hope everyone knows, whosoever is coming here, that we will talk about that, how we can read any sort of research paper. If suppose I know that, in the research work, whenever you will do, it takes a lot of time to read any research paper. And sometimes we feel quite boring, right? That, what is this black and white paper all about? Depending upon the journals, you will observe that sometimes you will be having 4 pages in a research paper, sometimes it's a 6 page, it's a 8 page. So I just will talk about here that what's the best way to read any research paper in an interactive way, so that you will not face kind of a boring thing to read any research paper. It's quite interesting if you will read those research paper in an interesting manner. So I just want to share my experience with respect to the research paper. Before joining my masters, if you will ask from me whether you really like to read research paper, I will say no. But after pursuing my masters, at least this thing I get to learn that how we can take those research papers and read those research papers. So I just want to share my experience, and then you can try at your own that whether those kind of things will suit you or not, or maybe some different experience is suiting you. Okay. So but before that, please do let me know that whether my voice is clearly audible to everyone or not. Hi Sunil, I hope you all are doing well. Um can anyone confirm to me that is my voice is clearly audible, those whosoever is watching? So I'm waiting for you guys confirmation. Good evening, very good evening to everyone. Okay, it's clear. Thank you so much, Sunil, for the confirmation. So let's maybe wait for few more minutes. It's 9:02, and I'll wait for 2-3 minutes more and then I'll start. Okay. Meanwhile, let's do some random chit chat. How you guys are doing? Is everything going great? How is everyone? Whosoever is watching. Now my voice is also clear. I got the confirmation. Anything you want to ask? Anything which doubt you have in your head? Meanwhile, we can discuss that and then maybe we will start within a few minutes. So, anyone, anything you want to discuss? Or maybe in the next live session, what topic you really want me to cover up? You can also give that kind of suggestion also in the chat window. And then maybe we can start. Let me share my screen meanwhile. Okay. Just give me the confirmation that is my screen is visible or not. Will you be able to see my screen now? Uh, it's kind of a black screen coming up as of now. Will you be able to see my screen? It's visible, but what I really want to share is not visible. Let me try one more time. Now it is visible. Black screen is visible, right, everyone? Where I can write the stuffs? Okay, perfect. Okay. So someone is asking, ma'am, how to get research internships at IITs. We'll talk about that. Okay. Anything about open source for next session? Okay. Uh, Please make a roadmap to learn data science. I already have created. If you will go to the data science playlist on my channel, so you will be clearly able to see that I think very first or second video is the video regarding the roadmap. So you can go towards the playlist by the name of data science. You will be able to see that. Okay, so I have seen your questions. So I will talk about these things when I'll start my session. So I think now it's a good time that I'll start the session. I believe those who really want to join, they have already joined. So let's get started. Okay. First question, which I really want to ask from you all is the question is that what do you think? Why the very first thing, why are we supposed to read any research paper? Any answer? What I'm saying, so whenever we are talking about research papers, what's the utility? Why we should read that? Or is there a need actually to read research papers? What do you think? Anyone? Any thoughts on this part? What do you think? Is there a need to read the research papers? And if yes, why? What do you think? What's your answer? That why we should have a good habit of reading the research papers? And here I am talking specifically in data science domain. So someone is saying yes. Can I get to know the reason why? Why do you think that we should read a research paper? I think research paper reading is a really good habit. And so I'm getting the responses. So one student is saying to get deep information about specific discovery. That's true. Second, Rohit is saying we get updated with the latest technology. Again, that's true. So basically, whenever I'm talking about research paper, specifically when I'm saying in data science domain, you all know, right? It's quite a vast domain. It's very vast domain. And in this domain, there is a lot more research which is happening currently in AI, in data science, when I'm talking about. Now, if you want to be updated with the current market, right? People usually say, whenever I got a chance to interact with them, the students say that whether we got a job, I am pursuing I am in a second year or third year, whether I would be able to get a job, or is the job market still be there in future after the generating of chat GPT and all those stuffs coming up. So those people will sustain only in the job market who are up to date with the market specific skills that we have. And how you will be able to get that idea that what the currently things are happening in the research or in the academia or in the building part of the industry, you will be able to get an idea only by reading these research papers. So it's very, very important for everyone, those who want really to be in this domain, to read the research papers very much efficiently. By saying the word efficiently, what does that mean? Now I will talk about that point. So one thing we get to know that to stay updated, as one student already answered this part, that to stay updated with the technology, we should have a habit of reading the research paper. Second important thing is, suppose there is someone who is having a mindset to pursue a master's, MTech, or PhD. At that point, though, it's very much necessary. I would say to stay updated is something which is a choice. If you will not be updated, it will not impact you maybe for few years. You will be in an industry and you will be able to get the job also. But if your target is to pursue masters or PhD, then though I am saying it is a mandatory skill that you should have. Because if you don't have the habit of reading the research papers, you will not able to get to the solution of the research. So what we usually do in masters and PhD, we try to find out the gap, the research gap which we have. For that, we need to see that what things already happened. What is the meaning of research? Research simply meaning is that there are few things which already happened, which for which there is already a research paper which is published in a very good journal, very good conference. But what's the gap? What's the thing which is still left? Okay, then only you will be able to find out the problem statement for your research, and then only you will start doing the research. So that's where, if you are interested in pursuing masters or PhD, even inside India from IITs or outside also, that is something which is a highly top rated skill which is required if you want to really accomplish those degrees in a very good manner. Okay, the third important thing is, as I told you, that this research paper will help you to find a gap. Find a gap. What is the meaning of this? That what things already happened, what things already happened, and what things we need to be developed. What things we need to be developed. So in order to get this gap, you only will be able to get once you will start reading the research papers. Now, what is the good website to read the research papers? Anyone? Any idea? Yes, that's very true. To get the opportunity to work with those research teams, we should know what they are doing. Exactly. That's why it's very important. Now, what is the good platform, or what is the where we can find the research papers? Any platforms? Yes. So Google Scholar is something which I really found it quite amazing, right? So you can, those who are not sure what is Google Scholar, you can go to the web, just type Google Scholar, you will be able to get a web link, and in that particular link you can just tap on. So if I'll just show you what I am saying here. So if I'll just say Google Scholar, see the very first link you will be able to get. Now, when I will enter this, you will be able to get this kind of a search page. Now, if suppose I want to search for a problem, maybe, research paper for AI in healthcare domain. If I'll just write this, you will be able to see that there are so many research papers on the basis of the priority order you will be able to get, right? Then you can maybe see what is the things happening. Journal of Biomedical Informatics, you will be able to see the highlights, abstract, graphical abstract, and so on. Introduction and everything is there. So this is the very first website which I really like. Platform, I would say Google Scholar. Second is, yes, someone already said, Papers with Code. This is also a very good platform, where not only you will be able to get a research paper, but you will be able to, it's an open source kind of a thing where you will be able to get the code as well. Okay, then you can try to do your own things on top of that. So whatever things already built, you can try to think on top of that. So these two are the platforms which I have used quite frequently, and I am using quite frequently. Okay, now the third important thing, okay, we get to know why. Firstly, we get to know why we should study the research paper. Then we get to know from where we should study the research paper. Okay, fine. Now, next important question. How, right? This is why you are here, to understand this part, right? How we should study any research paper. In order to get the clarity, you should know what are the components of research paper that we have. Who will tell me what are the components of research paper that we have? So our research paper starts with so I will show you my research paper, which I and with my team published in EMBC conference. So here you can see, I hope everyone will be able to see my screen, right? So this is the research paper, suppose that I have. Now in this research paper, what are the components, or any research paper you can pick up, if you will pick up, you will find out there are some common things which you will feel. First thing is the title, right? First thing is the title. Second thing is the abstract. Third thing is the introduction. Fourth thing is the materials and methods. Fifth thing is the, let's go towards the result part, where is results, right? Then conclusion and discussion, and then the references. So what are the components of any research paper we have seen? It starts with the title, then we have the abstract part, then we have the introduction part, third component, then we have the materials and methods component. In any of this is what I am talking about, a general research paper, okay? Then we will be having the results section, then we will be having the discussion section, then you will be having a conclusion section, and finally you will be having, somewhere you will see conclusion and future scope is there as the heading, and then you will be having at the very end references. Before that, you might have acknowledgement also in many research papers. Acknowledgements, let me write that as well. And at the very end, you will be having the references. So this is what, in total, we will be having 9 components, right? Now the question is how we start reading our research paper. So for any research paper, suppose you are doing some research, okay? And let's consider that you are doing a research in a healthcare domain itself, okay? AI in healthcare domain, you need to deal with a cancer patient data set. Your target is to, given a CT scan, your target is to check that whether it belongs to a cancerous data or cancerous patient or not. Now you are thinking that let me figure it out whether previously people did this task or not, and if they did, what kind of technology they have applied. Now, how do you get to know that the research paper that you are reading is suitable for your research or not? Those people only will go towards reading the research paper who really want to solve any problem statement, right? If you don't have anything in your head, then you are going and you will get stuck that what paper should I study? You should have something in your head. You should have some problem statement. Then you will go towards a website. You are exploring that. Now, the bigger challenge is that there are so many research papers available. How will you get to know that this is the research paper which is suitable for my research? So the very first thing is a title, which you have to understand. Title is something which will give you the sense of understanding that what this complete research paper is all about. So try to spend the time in order to understand the research paper title. Very, very important. Without going in below part, just understand title itself. You will be able to get a better clarity. For example, if I will ask you one question here. So the research paper title in this paper is Automated Quantification of Inflamed Lung Region in Chest CT by Unit++ and SECCAPS, a comparative analysis in COVID-19 cases. By listening this title, I am asking from you all, what you able to interpret? What you guys able to interpret? You don't know the paper, right? You are seeing for the very first time. I am expecting this. So you don't know what is this abstract. We didn't study about introduction. We didn't go through towards the materials and methods. I am just saying, see this heading, and tell me, what do you think this research paper is all about? Anyone, any guesses? What do you think by seeing this title itself, this research paper is all about? Any keywords you will be able to get, anything which you will be able to get about this paper itself? Don't focus on the abstract part, don't focus on anything, just focus on the highlighted thing. Okay, so one student is saying it's about a COVID classification task. Okay, some student is saying it's an image classification task. Any other guesses? Again, see the line very much carefully, see the title very much carefully, then say whatever explanation you can give. It's not only a single word I am expecting, anything which your mind is saying that this paper must be doing this kind of a stuff. So Rohit is saying it might be the paper which tells about how COVID-19 affects our lungs. Okay. Sai is saying it's maybe a competitive analysis. Between what? Say the exact words. Between what? A comparative analysis of what? Okay. Relation of COVID and lung. Okay. Automated. Okay. Lung disease due to COVID. Okay. Any other thing? I'm not getting wow kind of answer till now. You are able to get a sense of it, but the answer which I want, better clarity answer with the heading itself, that is what I'm not getting from the audience till now. So I'm waiting. Maybe someone will give me, otherwise obviously I will tell. Give more try. Again, see this heading very much carefully and think what is the meaning of inflamed lung region. English word, inflamed. Inflamed means infectious. Now Sai came to a proper headline. Comparative analysis between unit plus plus and sec caps. For what? Now very close, Sai. You are very close to the answer. For what? We are doing a comparative analysis between two models. This is what heading is showing to me. Unit plus plus and sec caps. For what purpose? What is the problem statement? Comparing unit plus plus and sec caps and check which works better for COVID classification task. It's not classification, you can see the word, right? It's a quantification. There is a difference between the word quantification and the classification. But anyhow, now you guys will be able to reach to a point after I am asking so many number of times, again, repeat, again, see what is this indicating. Now you're very close to the answer. So what Dushyant says is approximately clear cut true, but not classification, it's a quantification task. So what we get to know from the heading itself, we didn't see the abstract, we didn't see the introduction, we didn't see the materials and methods, we didn't even explore the results. We will be able to get that here something we are doing where we are comparing two models. We are doing a comparison between the two models. There is something about unit plus plus is one of the model 1. Let me not write the names also. There is one model 1 because I'm not sure how many people are aware about this. So let me write it very easy layman term. There is model 1 and there is model 2. And we are trying to solve one problem. We are trying to solve one problem. Doesn't matter what this problem is all about. It's a COVID, it's a anything, any problem we are trying to solve. We are trying to solve this problem with model 1 and then with model 2. And then we are comparing which model is working better, right? So here the problem is that we will be provided infectious lung CT scans and we are checking that how much is the infection portion is there via model 1 and the model 2. That is the problem statement which we are trying to do. See, now the people who are really solving this kind of problem, they only will see this research paper, right? The person who is solving a problem in finance domain, why he will care about this problem? Maybe there is someone who is solving a problem of pneumonia. He will take care of this, that how she did or how he did, how his team did. So that's where, first of all, the heading will give you the proper interpretation of what the complete research paper all about. What people usually do now, they just take a paper, try to read it thoroughly. They want to highlight all sentences, but this is not how research paper will be read. Give the time to the title. Interpret the title pretty well. Half of your job will be done. Because via title, you will be able to understand whether you should move ahead or not. Still, maybe there is a confusion. You don't know whether you should move ahead or not. Go with the abstract. Understand abstract. What is abstract in a research paper? It's a summarization of the complete research paper that you have written. Now, see the summarization. It's just one paragraph or two paragraphs, very small, summarization will be there in your research paper. Try to see that what this is indicating. They will talk about the complete experiment what they did and what result they have got. So complete research paper summarization is on the abstract part. And if you will be able to understand the abstract, then it would be really easy for you to move ahead towards the research paper further part. Okay. So the next important thing which you have to understand after the title is the abstract part in any of the research paper. So here I am talking in general of any of research paper. Don't focus on only the research paper which I am showing here. It's common for every research paper whichever you will study for any of the domain. Okay. Now once you will be able to get the summarization of your research paper, you will be able to get the understanding. It might happen that here you will be able to encounter some new keywords which you haven't used in your entire life till now. You will be able to encounter some new keywords which you haven't used. So at that point of time, what you're supposed to do is you just mark those keywords and try to search separately on the Google web that what this word's all about. Might be there is someone who don't know what is unit plus plus. There is someone who don't know what is set caps. What they can do, they can just Google it out. They will get to know that okay, it's a image segmentation kind of a algorithm that we have. So you will get to know. Don't go initially in a very much depth. Try to get a gist of what this research paper is saying. Third important thing which you have to study after the abstraction understanding is the introduction part. In the introduction, you will get to know that okay, what is the problem statement all about? Okay, what is the exact problem statement that they are trying to solve? What is the research gap that they are trying to solve? Okay, so all these things, what's the history behind the things that they are doing, right? For example, what's the history behind the COVID, when it came, how it came, all these things means you will be able to get an idea that why they have selected this problem. Means you will be able to get the motivation of doing this research in their introduction part itself. If that is not there, might be it's their responsibility, but this is the real purpose of giving the introduction in the research paper itself. The motivation, that why you have chosen this problem out of so many problems that we have, right? Once you will be able to get the understanding of the introduction, skip this part. People usually spend most of the time on this part. There is no need to spend the time as of now when you are starting your research paper. Title done, abstract done, introduction done. In materials and methods, what they will tell you from where they have taken the data set, what kind of tools they have used to implement this project, which algorithm they have used. It's okay. We can see it later, right? We don't want to go in very much depth. The key thing is that in a research paper, initially you need to just skim through the paper. Means एक बार बस देखना है पूरा पेपर, और मटेरियल्स एंड मेथड्स को हम बाद में देख लेंगे अगर हमें कुछ मैथमेटिकल एस्पेक्ट्स को जानना है. इफ यू वांट टू नो समथिंग in a very deeper sense with respect to any algorithm, we will see it very later. But as of now, what you will have to do is go towards the result. In results, you will see that they have plotted some numbers. They will be giving you some numbers. Numbers with respect to accuracy, precision, dice score, or they will give you some statistical plots. Now, what you're supposed to do is, once you will see that, try to interpret this result on your own. Without seeing the conclusion, you need to interpret the results. Okay, they will be able to get this result. Would this result be good for my research work? Would this result looks good? Or maybe they can make some more improvement on these results. Is this way of displaying the results is fine? All these questions you have to ask from yourself. Okay, so after that, see the conclusion part and try to see whatever conclusions they are making, is that conclusion matching with your conclusion also or not? Is there a gap between these two things, or they're exactly the same? Okay, once you will be able to done with the results and the conclusion, focus on this future scope. This is where you will be able to get the gap of what things they have left it out, what things they are saying that there is a scope of improvement, which they won't be able to do, which might be an opportunity for you to do, right? So that's where you can see and focus that what's the future scope they have already written. Then think over it. Can I, uh, inter the results that they're getting, can I do something which makes this particular result more little bit accurate? Maybe they're getting accuracy of 70%. Can I get the data set from somewhere else? Can I have that collaboration and I can improve on top of that? Make sense? After that, if suppose yes, if your answer is yes, that I can do something on top of that, then if there is something, you will go towards the materials and methods after this, after understanding everything. If you feel like that you can do something out of it, then check which methods they have used, from where they have fetched the data. Try to see what's the limitation which is there and what can be improved on top of that. Suppose you will be able to get some algorithms which you're not sure of. They must have attached the references corresponding to those algorithms. They must have cited. Then these two things are interlinked. So whatever things, whatever algorithms, whatever keywords you are not aware of, check their references, from where they have picked up, from where they have learned. Check that. Then you will be able to get the understanding. Now, what usually people do is they, and even I, before joining my masters, what I usually do, at least I'm talking about myself, I used to try to read any research paper sequentially. In my bachelor's, what I usually do is when my minor major came and when I got a chance to read the research papers, I started with title, then abstract, introduction, then materials and methods. Now, this materials and methods is composed of 3-4 pages or 2-3 pages of research paper. After studying this materials and methods, I felt I just felt demotivated. I felt like sleeping because it's too boring after that. And then I won't be able to pay proper attention towards result, which is very much important because that is something which they're able to get from this research paper or from the research. So actively, we have to focus on the research part. We have to see what conclusions they make and what conclusions you are making from those particular results that you have. Then think over it that how you can improve that. Then at the very end, if you think that the research matches your research or it is helpful to you, then think over the materials and methods. Otherwise, there is literally no need to understand what algorithms they have applied, because there are so many algorithms. Even though if it is not matching your needs, why to study? You can skip that, or you can move to the next research paper where you will find your you know matching needs which you really want from with respect to your research. Now, reading title, abstract, intro, result, and conclusion won't take that much time. It is just 1 to 2 hours of task. But if you will read like title, abstract, intro, materials and methods and complete this, it might take one day as well, depending upon from which journal you are picking up. Next important thing is, whenever you are taking any research paper, try to see that what is the date of publishing of that research paper. It should not be, you are taking a research maybe from the very past time. It should not be like that, because research is happening on a daily basis. You should be taking the research papers which are very quite frequent one, right? Which is like maybe at max the last year or maybe last to last year. People usually don't focus on the date of publishing, and then they feel like that these techniques are obsolete, right? Apart from this, you need to see which journal or conference they have published the research paper. Try to see the journals or conferences which are well reputed, because usually if you will, for example, IEEE is the one which is a very good one where maximum research papers will get published. So there the chances are very high that the work that they have published is authenticated, right? But if you will take random any journal, any conference paper, then it might be the case that they have written anything and they didn't never ever implemented that, and then you are trying and you're wasting your time. So try to get that authenticated paper only, which is very recent paper, and then only go with the next steps which I am talking about here. Yes, this is all about which I want to talk about here. Now it's been, I think, half an hour. I am the only one who is speaking. If you have any doubt, you can ask from me now. So, what I have talked about in this session, I have talked about first of all why research paper is required to read, from where we should go, and how basically we read the research paper. These three topics we have covered up in today's session. Now, in why, where, and how, if you have any doubt, you can ask from me. So I got very confused with the maths and all the symbols used in the research paper. See, the very first thing is the mathematical part, if you will observe, will be there in the materials and methods. That's what I'm saying. So if you are studying for the very first time, in the very first go, that materials and methods, you will get stuck there itself. You will not go to the next step of the results. That's why I'm saying take it afterwards. Second thing, if suppose you will be able to understand the results and everything, and then you are going to the materials and methods, and you are getting these mathematical terms which you are not aware of, then what you can do, see, if research paper is not going through in very much depth by getting each and every word, it's getting the idea, it's getting the gist of that. If you will be able to get that, it's completely fine. If still you want to go in very much depth by getting each and every word, then try to just highlight the keyword and then do your own research separately, that what these symbols all about, if you have the time. Otherwise, if you're able to get the idea itself now, that is more than enough. Rather than going to reading one research paper in a month or in a 2 months, getting a gist of ideas within 10 research papers within a month or 2 months, second way is quite better as comparable to the first one. Because in research paper, we're looking for the ideas, we're looking for what research already happened, we're looking for what new things I can do, right? And for that, you will apply some different techniques, some different things. So, but still, if you want to go in very much depth towards the technique part, then that's the only way. Highlight the keywords when you're skimming the paper, and then do your separate research, that what this algorithm is all about, what's the drawback of that, at what point of time I can use that, how much resources I should use to get through that particular algorithm, all these things. How to choose particular area, so it really depends. Okay, there are so many domains we have in data science problems, right? So I would suggest, as the initial phase, try to explore as many as you can, and once you will be able to in an industry of maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, once you will be able to get a gist of all the things, then try to see that which particular field interests you, healthcare, finance, or any other domain. Accordingly, you can decide. That's why, take a gist of everything. It might happen that you are very good with numbers and you really like to deal with the numbers only. So you can go with that. It might happen that you are really good with images part, CT scans part. You can go with healthcare domain. You really like to solve the problems of the patients. You really want to create this kind of a machine which will really help those particular people who can't afford maybe big hospitals and they don't have that flexibility. So you want to do that kind of a task. So what I'm saying here, it's not like I would say that go with this area only. Every particular area is interesting, but what interests you depends on you. How will you get to know? Try to explore as much as you can, and then after certain level, once you will reach to that particular level where you understand that okay, I have explored many areas, but this area is something which really interests me, where I can spend my entire 10 or 20 upcoming years. That is the area suitable for you. I hope it answers your question. Uh, Venkit is saying, when is the good time to start reading research papers? While learning topics or after some point of time? No, no. When you are learning itself, at that point, it's very good to start early, because uh, I remember I started when time came to me that I have to submit the thesis work, I have to generate the results, I have to find out the solution of my problem statement, and I won't be able to get that. At that point of time, I feel like if initially only I would have the habit of reading the research papers, I won't be able to take that much time. You remember, I remember, it took me few months to get some output from my thesis work which I was doing. I was feeling at one point of time that whether I would be able to generate some result or not out of my masters. So that was the time which I have seen in my case. So I really don't want you all to suggest that whenever time came, then only you will start. Start as early as you can. I was not having the habit in my bachelor's to read the research papers because no one guided me at that point of time, and no one encourages me, and I don't feel like reading. I feel like that it's a black and white kind of a paper. It felt me very boring. But from that day itself, if I start making that habit, it will really help me to get more better results in my masters. Or even now, I am in a situation that okay, if you will give me the research papers, I can read it better in a better way, and I can make an inference out of it. So it will help me in my PhD, but in my masters, I face a difficulty, right? So the good time is that whenever you're learning some new topic, for example, you're learning in a deep learning, maybe LXNet model. So try to see that LXNet research paper, what researchers have written, UNet, any algorithm you are studying, there is a proper research paper for that. Try to check that research paper, try to see, try to get a habit. And the way to read the research paper is just now I have talked about. Okay. If you will do like this, I believe you will be able to find a better inference out of that research paper. This is as per my experience. There is nothing good or bad here. Everyone's way is different. I always say in every of my video, whatever things I am sharing on this platform is as per my experiences. But if you feel like that you will be able to get better results out of reading sequentially, go for it. I'm not saying that that's a wrong way. I'm saying this way helps me. So if it might help you, try to do this. If it helps you, that's a good. If it's not, try to find another ways. Okay. uh, what is SPSS? I don't know. Learn something new. Superb. I hope this is great. Shall we end the session? Any other doubt? Anyone? Yes. Any doubt? Anyone? If no doubt, any suggestions for the next upcoming live sessions you really want to take? Anyone? Any sessions that you have in your head? You can write in the comment section. Okay. I don't want on the spot any answers. Think over it. Like what kind of problems you are facing while studying, and what kind of sessions you really want me to take, because I am planning to take these kind of sessions every week, and that's what I am doing. Please help me and support me in this journey. Try to share this video as much as you can so that it will reach to a wider audience. Because see, here the only purpose to launch this YouTube channel is whatever struggles I have faced. So at my point of time, there was no one to guide me. I have spent a lot of time on myself, and after sometimes I am spending few days to get one single answer. Sometimes I am spending months and months, and I'm not able to get those answers. So I'm just trying to share my experiences here so that if there is someone who is like me, who is not having their elder sister or brother or someone who can uh, tell them that, okay, this is the way you can go and you will be able to get your result, I will be able to help you out. I want to reach to that audience. That's my ultimate target. And I believe until so far, I am not able to succeed in that part. So, and that won't be possible without you guys supporting me. Okay. So that's and I don't want to advertise this. I just want to reach to the audience organically. Right. That's why if you will observe, I am just writing the post only one time on LinkedIn, and that's it. So I just want your support in this so that we all will be able to get something out of it. And it's not like I am only delivering here. I am, getting a lot of things from you all also. So it's a mutual thing. It's a mutual benefit. It's a mutual learning, I would say. And usually I believe that by sharing the knowledge, it's always upgraded, right? That's what you always remember at every point of your time. Whenever today you are learning something, try to share. The more you share, you will be able to get the good blessings, and apart from that, you will be able to get a good learning out of that. When you explain something to someone now, automatically you will observe that it will always help you to remember the stuffs. So please make sure to do the things whatever I'm saying here. And please make sure to share this video with everyone. I really want a good output from all these stuffs whatever I'm doing, because I'm delivering my best here. That's what I know, right? uh, Initially I thought that I will not launch my YouTube channel, and I can launch in the starting of my masters itself. I thought that, but I was very sure that I won't be able to be consistent at that point of time. I launched that when I am pretty sure that I will be consistent. And after launching, if you will observe, I am consistent. So the only thing which I really want from you all is this only. That's the only request which I have. And uske baad to aapki marzi hai, right? So with this, let's end this video. I hope that you really like this video. You will be able to get something out of the time that you have spent with me. And thank you for coming here, for joining me. And with this, bye bye everyone. Happy learning to all. And I'll see you all in my next upcoming videos. Bye bye.